Police Minister Bheki Cele has revealed that there have been 229 multiple shooting events in KwaZulu-Natal in just 9 months. 531 people have lost their lives as a result of these shootings. So what's going on? Let's find out. We're joined by the KZN police spokesperson, Naicker. Captain, thank you very much for your time. Over 500 people killed as a result of mass shootings. What's driving these?
Good morning, Chloe. From the analysis, as you indicated quite rightfully, for this financial year, we had 229 cases where there's been multiple murders, and that has claimed 531 lives. The majority of them is where more than one person, two people were killed, so there's 187. There's 28 cases where 3 were killed, 5 cases where 4 were killed, and 4 cases where 5 were killed, 3 where 6 people were killed, and then where 7 and 8 people were killed, there was 1 case. We find that from our analysis of the case dockets, the majority of these murders are driven by arguments, misunderstandings, road rage in some cases, as well as provocation. Some of these then followed by retaliations and revenge. The third most contributing factor is robberies, and then it's followed by drug-related. Some of these drug-related may be also due to the gangs, drug gangs. Then followed by taxi-related incidents, and then intergroup conflicts.
Yeah. All right. So you've mentioned quite a number of possible driving factors. If I remember correctly, Mr. Naicker, last year we were talking to you and alongside the various authorities in KZN, and the issue of drugs being peddled in the streets of 2 main cities, that's eThekwini and Umgungundlovu, formerly known as Pietermaritzburg. These are the 2 areas that could be defined as hotspots. Am I right that these 2 cities are seeing more prevalently the issue of drugs being peddled and gangsterism?
That's correct. The eThekwini district, which includes over 40 police station precincts, is the main area of concern when it comes to multiple murders, and this is followed by Umgungundlovu, which is your Pietermaritzburg region.
What is being done then to try and fight the peddling of drugs? Because that then has the resultant effect of revenge killings, if you like, exactly as you mentioned a little earlier.
Look, on the reactive side, we have multiple teams that are doing, drug-related operations, where they do operations on a daily basis, some of them undercover, which is your longer term. We have the provincial organized crime unit from the provincial level, as well as a provincial drug task team. The Hawks also has their own operations. But at station level, we're working more on the proactive side, because remember, these things start from a very young age. Some of the videos that we see online, it's actually shocking to see that such small children are being, on the streets, joining gangs, acting as if they are gangsters, and very quickly they turn to drugs also. So we're working with the schools, but also with the parents, because we are saying to parents, why are such young children, I mean, these are babies that are on the street and joining these gangs. So we're working on a proactive level to try to stem the drug usage amongst our youth, because that seems to be a big problem, and including teenage pregnancies, which also is contributing to the problem that we see in our society.
The areas that could easily be defined as hotspots, I know in eThekwini, for example, Mlazi, the township of Umlazi has been a major talking point. Inanda, KwaMashu, what are the other areas that are easily defined as hotspots, and what is the police's advice to residents who live in those communities?
Yeah, you mentioned the three, and then we also have a big drug problem in Phoenix, Chatsworth, Wentworth, as well as Sydenham, which is all in the eThekwini area, Folweni. So there's a number of townships in eThekwini that's having a drug problem. I think, yeah, our advice to parents, like I said, these are our children. We need to work. We need to look at our children. Are they, occupied? What are they doing? Encourage them to be in school. Encourage them to take part in sport. Try and keep them off the streets. We know when children are, addicted to drugs, it becomes a problem. Like the incident that took place in Folweni, where 6 people were killed. This child had become such a problem that the family had actually built a shack in their yard and moved him out of the house because they couldn't handle him anymore.
Yeah.
And 6 people were executed, including 5 of his friends, as they were consuming drugs on that area. So some of the communities where they're having successes, the community policing forums are very actively involved. They're working with the security companies. They contact police immediately when they see something suspicious. They are reporting these drug dens, like the incident that took place in Richmond recently, where 8 people were gunned down. After the incident, the community then came forward and said, you know what, we were aware that this homestead was actually used by the youngsters to consume drugs.
Yeah.
But by then it was too late. 8 people were gunned down. Even the recent incident that took place in Amoti, where 6 people died. Whilst it might not just be drug related, it could be some other form of criminality involved. We are told by the community that this group would gather behind this tuck shop and smoke drugs during the day when they were attacked.
Yeah. Drug addiction, Captain Naicker. Drug addiction is becoming a serious problem in various communities there. And I know this because I've lived in KZN. We are talking about drug addiction, but for drugs to be available, there are kingpins. There are people who sell drugs. Are police making headway in arresting these people? I know just the other year, can't remember if it was 2020, in fact, I think it was 2020, during the lockdown, when one of the kingpins was actually shot and killed.
Yeah, just to correct, it's Brigadier J. Naicker. I'm the provincial spokesperson for KZN.
Sorry, Brigadier. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, look, there is, I said, those operations are ongoing, and most of these arrests take place working together with the Hawks and our provincial organized crime unit. Unfortunately, some of these cases take very long. And the challenge becomes that these guys are released on bail. You know, we do our utmost to keep them inside, but unfortunately, they get the best lawyers and they're out on bail and they're back in the community. They're peddling drugs. We arrest them on a number of occasions, and it is a concern to us that people, repeat offenders, are given bail, irrespective of the number of times this happened. And it's not just drugs, because even these multiple murders, the people that we arrest, we'll see that they've been arrested previously and they're out on bail. Whilst their cases are pending, they're out on bail and they're reoffending. So arrest does not seem to be a deterrent for them. So I think it's important that, it's a multidisciplinary thing. We have to work with the rest of our partners in the criminal justice system to speed up these trials so that when they're convicted, they're inside. And that is the only way we can stop them from reoffending. Because by the time they're convicted, we find we are arresting them on a number of occasions and they get bail. And once they're out, they're reoffending.
Yeah, and that is absolutely an important point to make there. Police make arrests, but the criminal justice system does not seem to be geared towards just how dangerous these people are. Thank you very much for your insights there. That's the police spokesperson in KZN, Brigadier J. Naicker.